especially for both teams, because both of them just want to build the momentum now as we get down to what we would like to call the business end of the tournament, because both these teams, as these gentlemen would well use back. Brendan McCullum is back in the house, and since you've been gone, my dear friend, your former team, the Yellow Army, has lost too. What's going on? You've got to get back to winning ways today.
Yeah, well, the over-reliance on him, they are at home, and I think they'll be pretty tough to beat tonight.
And I tell you what, the team that walks in wearing momentum is the Orange Army. Hey, you're dressed for the Orange Army today, Graham. I just noticed.
Well, it's the only one they could find that fit me. So,
And they have to build on their momentum, because this is Bairstow's last game. He goes back. David Warner goes back after that. Kane Williamson is not here today. So you've got to ensure that you at least try and get the points here.
well, it's important for them to get points. I think that the rejig.
Ever at the top order, and they're experienced men. You're talking about Shane Watson, who really needs to get going. Suresh Raina has had one good knock. Ambati Raidu, they were the pillars of CSK's winning championship season last season. What is the difference this time?
Well, I think it started with the fact that they're playing on a tough surface, and they've got into a little bit of a rut. And it doesn't matter how experienced you are, if you're lacking confidence, it does affect your game. And they haven't been able to get into any sort of rhythm, and that sort of troubled them throughout, even on the road. I think they've struggled. And for them to have so many batsmen out of form is a big problem, and that's why MS Dhoni's been, we always know his captaincy, he's going to win a game or two with his decision making, but with the bat he's been key in terms of getting them to positions where they've won. And that's
Mr. IPL or Chinnathala know one thing, it is that the Sunrisers unit do have those options when it comes to the bowlers, especially with the introduction of Khalil. They've made them even more penetrable in the power play. And it could really depend on the conditions that you find today. Remember, it's been 2 weeks since we've seen any cricket action here at the Chair Park. Let's find out what things are looking like in our Dream 11 pitch report.
So it will be about the skills of the batsmen to score against the spinners. That might just be the difference in this encounter.
Thank you for that, Darren Ganga. I tell you what, MSD, of course, is just going through the motions, what he does, but he'll also have to have a plan as to what has been the best extraordinary form this season. The question is, who does Dhoni use to dismiss them, trouble them? What would you do?
well, I mean, you've got to consider the surface as well. So
Harbhajan Singh returning today.
MSD, he might do that, or he might use the slow bowlers. I guess we'll wait and see.
I tell you what, Johnny Bairstow also leaves after this match, so really it's a good time for him to make an impression as both of them look to storm the fortress here at Chair Park. 8 out of 10 tosses this season, that's a pretty good success rate. What's the trick to getting the toss right?
The luck's on his side. I mean, with the skill that he's showing, he's got a bit of luck, so good for him. If anyone to say out, game on.
A couple of changes as we anticipated. Harbhajan Singh does come in for CSK, and you also have Shakib coming in for Sunrisers in the place of Kane Williamson. On the other hand, David Warner. Now, I'm sure MSD will have a few concerns when it comes to how to dismiss this man. He'll have to look for a few answers, but David Warner had very few answers to this. Deepak Chahar against these fiery openers, because you've got to, like you said, you've got to attack at least one.
Yeah, definitely. Just in the middle order of the Sunrisers as well, and a lot goes on the shoulders of both Bairstow and Warner again.
Which is why they've been so reliant on them, and they've just been an extraordinary form that few teams have tried to figure out what an Asian Paints game plan against them.
David Warner and Johnny Bairstow.
Thanks for that, Scotty. It's right, Johnny Bairstow's strike rate against pace is 200, and if you combine Bhaji and Deepak Chahar in the power play, they've taken 5 wickets together. Now, Deepak Chahar, as we all know, is used by MSD at the top. He did go for a few runs against Sunrisers, did manage to get that wicket of David Warner, but you'd expect the same game plan?
I expect the same game plan, especially now that Bravo
Against Bairstow as well. He's fallen to leg spinners 5 times this season, so MSD has that option of the Imran Tahir, the Harbhajan Singh, the Ravi Jadeja in the mix. How would you mix it up?
Yeah, I'd certainly start with Harbhajan. Interesting, Warner's very strong against Tahir as well.
Definitely have been on the prowl, but what about the Cubs? They were out for the hunt on Easter Sunday. Take a look. Cannot think of having better cheerleaders or 12th man in CSK. Definitely that family-oriented unit. When you guys say Dad's Army, that's a good thing, believe me, if you're right on top of the table. And I'm pretty sure the coach feels that way too as they return to the Chair Park. Started with that loss to Sunrisers. You would come back home, got 3 matches in a row here, get back to winning ways, make sure you get those points and say that, okay, this is the place for us to not worry about qualification and then work on the small aspects.
Yeah, 100%. Look, I think look to the likes of Shane Watson and Suresh Raina and Dwayne Bravo to really stand up. They've been there, they've done it before, and I'm sure they'll do it again.
Speaking of stand and deliver, time is now really for Johnny Bairstow Sunrisers, who will be batting first because it's the last game for Johnny Bairstow. So make my tip prediction time. It's his debut season. How is he going to leave us with what score? What's his knock going to be today?
Well, he's already left us with a magnificent first tournament.
This is what CSK need if they want to stay unbeaten at home this season at the Chepauk. But let's get straight into it because the man here is wearing orange. It wasn't Whistleport, it was Pandey ji ki seeti. Our thumbs up charge performance, Manish Pandey, 83 of just those...
Hammer down, Manish Pandey not out, in batsman, ended up with 80 something in really tough heat. I thought that at that point he really should take the game on, and he went at a runner ball for a long 3 wickets. Yusuf Pathan hardly got a bat. You got Shakib, you got Hunter, you got a whole lot of people that really can come in and take the game on.
Now David Warner's got one more game really for Sunrisers, and now
where he is in the competition, he wants to keep pushing, keep pushing, and he really is making a statement. I think after where he's been in the wilderness, what he's been through, this is the best way for David Warner to talk, is with his bat. Best way for David Warner to talk is with his bat, and he's doing it well.
But if he's got the appetite for runs, let me tell you, appetite for speed is MS Dhoni, a Oppo moment of the day. So, guess what? RCB are in action. Now, MSD, he's in some serious form. 176 is what they need to chase down. His strike record in the last 3 is 260 plus, but it falls to 60 when he faces Russia.
I think it's out of choice. What MS will be hoping is that the top order gets off to a good start and he can play his finishing role.
The openers right now for CSK are averaging 18. So like you said, someone needs to step up and fill that void. That's what needs to happen if Chennai want to stay unbeaten at home. We'll see you later. Home sweet home for Chennai Super Kings, undefeated. The only team undefeated this season in the Vivo IPL at home. And I tell you what, with Brian Lara and Baz with us, I mean, just imagine Shane Watson walking into today's game, knowing all these numbers that people are putting up, saying that, what, you've been dismissed 7 times in the power play already this season. He's like, hang on guys, I can do this. I have done this before.
You can expect a Shane Watson that's going to be very forceful on the opposition bowlers moving forward.
Time is such a crucial thing. Just have a look at our Swiggy fastest delivery of the day when water...
For us over the course of the full game. Yes, ideally chip in and the rest, but we need you to win 2 games. Shane Watson's won 1 tonight already. We've still got 4 games to go for them in this tournament. So that sort of messaging and that real reinforcement of selection and loyalty at the selection table is so important.
And you heard Bajji say that in the flash as well, saying that he won it for us almost single-handedly last year. We keep the faith. We'll go back now for the presentation. But there you go, really comprehensive performance from that point of view, really for Chennai Super Kings, because we spoke about experienced players needing to stand up when the time is right, not just Shane Watson, Suresh Raina today as well. Yes, he's had a 50 for them before. He's faced a little bit of heat. And when you're so experienced, Brian, when you worn that yellow jersey and scored over 5,000 runs in the Vivo IPL, you know when the time comes.
Yeah, definitely. He's chipped in 3. He's a very important player in any cricket team.
And as you would know that, you know that about his personality and his ability and how you believe yourself and pull yourself out of certain situations.
Yeah, look, there was a couple of points made in that aftermatch. That performance tonight from Shane Watson was big for him, but it's also big for those other guys in the team who maybe have been a little bit light on runs, because they know that this management group and the selector and the coach and the captain are going to back guys in, and they know that there's a performance not far away. So, geez, that's a huge performance in my mind for Chennai tonight, and just strengthens their cause as back-to-back champions. And
in case you missed it, Baz told us that when he was in fact in that locker room, the management used to say, you're experienced guys, we need you to win at least 2 games.
Working, and I mean, as an international cricketer, on many occasions I've travelled abroad with family members from, other players bringing their family abroad. What I've seen, the family atmosphere at the IPL and the different teams has been very, very special.
And you would need that. You would need it, whether it takes the pressure off yourself, it takes the pressure off your teammates, just to enjoy those sort of situations. And I mean, someone who enjoys that in terms of being a character and really being very familiar all the time, Harbhajan Singh. We had a feeling that he would be back today now that they're back at Chepauk, and he did that. This dangerous duo at the top for Sunrisers. He worked hard to account for those wickets.
Yeah, the experienced campaigners the Harbhajan Singhs, the Suresh Rainas, the Shane Watsons, Emma Stones, they're just littered. Wayne Bravo, haven't even mentioned in yet.
The same
They're just
old
littered
names
through
in that yellow
lineup,
jersey.
and
Yeah.
it just makes them so strong, and they all know their role within the side as well. And Harbhajan Singh, he's just getting better and better as he continues to play T20 cricket, and he loves playing for CSK.
That kind of faith, that kind of winning momentum is something that RCB need to continue. They need to keep it going. So much to look forward to on Maruti Suzuki Cricket Live. 7 p.m. is when we join you. It's just been told it's not tomorrow, today, later on. My apologies. We're on the way out. Just a reminder, the Chennai Super Kings are again at the top of the month. That I didn't realize. 2 days of such emotion for you.
They'll play for most of the teams.
But KKR aren't there, so fair enough.
I think RCB, they seem to have just hit their sweet spot a little bit. They seem to be a bit more consistent with their selections as well, and hope.
Need I say more than Chris Gale returning to the Chinnaswamy? Should we just leave it at that? I mean, that's the story.
That's the story. But he's
That's right. But Chris, if you are watching us, we are looking forward to that. We're looking forward to an absolute cracker tomorrow, today. Thank you for joining us, Jennifer. We'll see you later on. Bye for now.